Incredible Kerry from Who Wear.
Hi.
Not just Who Wear, but media empress, I would say, right? That's a better term for you.
I'll totally take it. Anything, does that mean like I get like some sort of like jeweled staff?
And I can staff in a crown.
Yeah.
And a big, big cape.
Yeah, anything that involves capes I'm down with.
So we go way back. We probably started out around the same time.
Yeah, 2006, 2005. Okay, so yeah, we are, I feel like it's our pledge class
Yes.
almost.
We were at the beginning of the social media when that word became a word. That's how dated. I'm going to date us right now.
Well, no, like the internet was barely a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a handful of like online stores, but like I feel like there was, in terms of fashion, there wasn't a whole lot going on. And I came from L along with my business partner, Catherine, and people definitely thought we were crazy for wanting anything to do with the internet. And then later, as social started developing, anything to do with social, we were like, we're not the ones who are crazy.
No, we got interventions. People sat us down and said, you are crazy for talking to bloggers, they're dirty, and you are crazy for talking to your consumer.
Which is so strange. And that's one of the things I've always loved about you and your company is the fact that like I feel like in the fashion world as a whole, you guys are always light years ahead when the rest of the industry is very like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, I'm not sure about, like, we shouldn't have an Instagram account. Like, you are always on the cutting edge. And it's something that for me as now a digital native, I really, really appreciate. I'm sure you guys appreciate it too, right?
Which brings me to my first question.
Okay.
So when you and Catherine decided to launch Who What Wear, what did you have a mentor? I had my brother that I could fall back on. I had the CEO of the company that I worked for, a really incredible woman. But who did you turn to and say, we're going to do this crazy thing?
Each other.
Okay.
So in the very beginning, it was really just the two of us. I mean, it was the two of us for the first like 2 or 3 years, and we had a handful of friends and family, a couple of whom became angel investors after we had started the company, maybe like 6 months, a year in. But really, in the very, very beginning, and still to this day, like it was the two of us in the sense of we just figured things out together. And honestly, we used to think like neither one of us has a business background, and neither one of us knows how to code for that matter. And I remember thinking like, can we even do this? We don't know how to make a business plan. The first time we got an RFP, which is a request for proposal, which is what someone sends you so that you can create an advertising plan for them. The first time we got one, we had to Google what an RFP was. We didn't even know like what it was. We slowly but surely figured things out just the hard way. And I think that's something, that entrepreneurial spirit is something that is really important for women to recognize as being just as important as having that necessarily like the exact background that you think you might need. So much of business I have found anyway is common sense.
Or fake it till you make it.
Yeah, or there's like, or trust your gut. Because I think like there are certain things like whether, we were just talking about this earlier, it's like if there's a partnership on the table and it just doesn't feel right for some reason, even if maybe the numbers look right, ultimately deciding not to do that is usually a beneficial thing, and I have never been steered wrong by my gut. And I think that that's a lot of times like maybe that's not the most scientific way of going about things, but ultimately that has been super important to me. But anyway, we have investors who we get advice from.
That's good.
But it's a weird time, like we take advice from our guts.
No, I think that's a smart way to go. I think when starting out, you sometimes only have your gut, and you have to make decisions based on how you feel. And guess what? If you fail, you pick yourself back up again and you keep going.
I'm one of those people who pretty much only learns things the hard way. I wish that someone would just say, the stove is hot, you shouldn't touch it. And then I was like, great, cool, I'm gonna stand right here. But no, I want to make sure just in case. So I have learned a lot through just messing up and then realizing, oh, okay, this is how I failed at this, or this is how I made a big mess of this, and now I'm going to apologize, and now I'm going to fix it, because nothing's ever so wrong that you can't fix it. But I feel like I've learned a lot of stuff the hard way.
And you get to laugh about it later. We've made huge mistakes that we laugh about now, right? All the time, we laugh.
Because it's like you try and come from a place of yes, you're like, yes, I will do that thing, and then you start doing it. And I remember we were talking about this once upon a time ago. I think it was like your first sample sale, and like you were doing everything yourself. It was like hundreds and hundreds of people showed up, and you were like there was way too much demand for what you had, and you were just scrambling. But you just make it work.
You make it work.
Tell the better version of that story.
Tell
my not bad synopsis, please.
That was good. I like that one. We essentially did it out of an apartment building because that's where my office was, and we had 200 bags that had been returned from a vendor, and I was panicking, and I thought, why don't let's just try and sell it. And Daily Candy was around at the time, and they posted it, and we had a line around the block. Coming into this 5th floor walk-up apartment, and me bringing bags out of closets, anywhere I could find a bag. I didn't care. There were samples. And we sold.
Here's my bag. I'm going to dump all of the goods out. You take it.
Yes.
But like that's so like you just I feel like that's also one of the things that we have in common is the problem solving.
Yes.
Like you just got to figure it out, and no one teaches you that, or at least no one taught me that. You just have to be sort of resourceful in figuring stuff out.
That's true. So my next question for you: fashion has a connotation that people in it are mean or divas.
Yes.
As in the Devil Wears Prada. And in my office, I like to ensure that every woman feels empowered and she feels like she's not part of that type of behavior or treatment. If I find out about it, I become like a mama bear for the most part and get angry at the person doing it. How do you deal with the women in your office, empowering them, making sure that they feel like their voices are heard?
Well, I think first and foremost is the key thing is, like you, is leading from the top. So I think that by setting the behavior and tone, the way that Catherine and I talk to each other, the way that Catherine and I talk to the rest of our team, I think that says a lot, and that starts sort of the culture, and it trickles down from there. The fact that we always say good ideas could come from anywhere, and we'll ask people questions. The fact that we will say in meetings like, this is my thought, but tell me I'm wrong. Like, give me another idea, give me a better idea, and that we all the time are asking for feedback, asking for opinions, asking for our team to tell us what they think, and then actually going with that, because I think things like that are really important. I come from a place of, I like to get everyone on the same page. I feel like when everyone is on the same page, then you all move forward together, and then there's never the thing of like, the person who is dragging their feet the whole time, and then something doesn't work, and they're like, see, I told you so. And so I also try and get everyone together and on the same page and in a place where they feel like, yes, like we are all behind this, and then working as a team going forward seems to also help with that. But really, it's just, we have always solicited opinions from everyone and asked them questions and wanted that feedback. And also, to your point, speaking rudely to each other is not, like, that's just not a thing. And I think part of that is hiring practices. One of the things that we always stress when we are in interviews and are hiring for our company is that our company is a place of tolerance, our company is a place of respect, that there's no, that's not my job. That is my least favorite phrase.
I don't do that.
And I think that's the nice thing too, because even though Click Media has been around for 10 years, we still have this like startup mentality, which is like you wear all the hats, you do all the jobs. If something is going wrong, if something's on fire, you put it out even if that's not your fire. And I see that in our team, and I think part of it is in starting from the very, very beginning, from hiring people who respond to that sort of environment, who have that sort of attitude. That is one way of getting an empowered and respectful and confident team together.